Right then, this is a walk around video for a simply stunning Honda Civic. This is a top of the range 2.2 EX GT fitted with the optional topaz yellow paintwork and the radium alloys. I believe they're radium alloys. The car looks absolutely stunning. It really does. It's a colour that isn't going to be for everybody, I'm aware of that, but to me I think it looks absolutely beautiful on the car, especially because the XGT gets the black roof, which breaks it up. It just looks gorgeous, especially in the sunlight today. Lights and lenses clear, intact, no cracks or condensation. It's a lovely sunny day. Unfortunately, that also means it's quite glary, so I'm going to do my best to keep my shadow out of the way for you. Bonnet and front bumper very clean indeed. Near side of the car wonderfully smooth in the panels. Panel work just looks so crisp and clean. And then to come around the back of the car, and very nice indeed, I have to say. There is the odd little sort of stone chip. Obviously, the last chap's obviously tended to most of it, in all honesty. But there's, they are going to get something on a 9-year-old car. But it is very clean. Offside, no indentations at all that I can see. Panel work looks very nice indeed. And final alloy there. The alloys look wonderful as well. But as I said, it's a just gorgeous looking car, this one. Let's come into the boot area now. They are massive boots. This one, so it's really sunny and glary. I do apologise. I'm just going to pop this open for you, just to show you what's nice to see. This one's actually been fitted with the optional space saver spare wheel rather than the inflation kit. Let's come into the back of the car now. You get a sense that Honda know these things really well. The doors open to virtually 90 degrees on the car, and when you get inside, unlike so many Civics, which are family cars, this one hardly looks as though it's been used in the back much at all. I think just the one owner, whoever's been driving it rather, has just driven the car themselves, because it's just in wonderful condition. Let's come in the front passenger side. Again, to continue the theme really, the footwell area is virtually unmarked. The front passenger seat there, it looks as though it's never ever been sat on. It is unbelievable. It's finally coming in the front. Again, door card wonderfully clean. Footwell areas again beautiful as well. A driver's seat, which has just been treated very gently. It's in lovely condition with only the tiniest amount of wear. EX GTs, you get that lovely big one-piece panoramic roof with the electric blind. So sat inside the car now, engine's running into this section so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely as new. I mean, it's incredibly clean. Sat nav, you can see they're working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, as well as the rear and front parking sensors. You get that lovely clear gridded parking camera all working exactly as it's meant to. But wonderfully clean. If I just pop up here, try not to snag the wire, hopefully you can see there 63,122 miles currently recorded. And there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. And that is the view you get as a driver. I think that's absolutely stunning. But the video, especially on a glary day like today, in all honesty, doesn't really do justice to it. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. So on to the road test section of the video. And just to confirm, this is for a Honda Civic 2.2 EX GT, registered BP62PZW, and mileage showing at the start of this road test is 63,116 miles. I do the videos in reverse, so when I do the walk around video, it's after this video, so the mileage will be higher. It kind of makes sense when we get there. The reason we do these videos is very simple indeed, especially the road test version. It's because we know how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the photos and description, only to get there and drive it to find out it's got an issue. It shows up whilst you're driving the car, so that's why we do it. And it's also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on, The reason we do that is so hopefully it will then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car in itself, it's obviously been very well looked after. Engine starts absolutely instantly and settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Engines, this 2.2 i-DTEC is a phenomenal engine in every way. It's got all the things you love about Honda. I mean, they are very, very reliable and incredibly long lasting with regular maintenance. But that's only half the story, because it's just such a lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's gutsy, it's flexible. He's going to wait there for me, that's a nice thing. But it's so smooth in operation as well. The only time you really where possibly that it's a diesel is probably in the very low gears, first and second, where even Honda can't get away from, you know, a small amount of diesel chatter. But on the move, it's silky smooth and so quiet. And it's also incredibly flexible, because again, so many modern diesels, they lull you into thinking that they're more powerful than in fact they are, because they have a lot of initial urge, but only for a very brief period. And then they just fall away very quickly and you have to change up constantly. This one, you put your foot down and it pulls hard through the entire rev range, and very, very smoothly in the process, as I said. I'm not sure what I said. Temperature gauge running at a third. I can't remember whether I said that, but that's exactly what it's meant to be. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect as you'd expect with this mileage. It's lovely and slick in operation. Gearbox, just brilliant. Zero wear in the linkage. Feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. But it gives you a wonderful quality of gear change. The selection, the synchro measures it engages, in between the gates, the springing, it's just beautifully engineered, as you'd expect from Honda, because they make their primary controls absolutely top of their agenda and getting absolutely right. Steering on the car tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And it's a lovely power steering system because it's really nicely weighted. Makes the car feel lovely and secure on the road. But it's very precise and accurate. You know, minimal movements required. The car follows absolutely faithfully because it's tuned brilliantly to the chassis of the car. Because the chassis of the car manages to combine the two things, which is very hard to do. It gives you wonderfully agile, sharp handling. Change of direction's brilliant. Body control's superb. Very little body lean going through the corners, and it flows if you're in the mood to do it through corners. It's, you know, for the enthusiast, it's a lovely car. However, it's not at the expense of ride comfort. It's a very, very comfortable, compliant ride. That's not to say, obviously, sharp bridges don't catch it out, because they do all cars. But it smothers them very nicely. They're not harsh in any way. And as I said, it's a real class act. What I'm looking for on these road tests as well, by the way, it's just listening out underneath the car as I'm driving for any kind of mechanical noises, clunks, rattles, anything like that, of which there's nothing at all. Absolutely perfect. Just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove, make sure no one's directly behind me. But lovely solid brake pedal on the car, bites really well. What I'm looking for on that initial pedal application is there shouldn't be any grumbling or pulsing coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely spot on. So coming to the interior, it's a lovely sunny day, so it's a bit glary, and I do apologise, but what a brilliant interior. Not only is it fantastically well put together, I mean, these are build quality is sensational in these Civics. They take their miles probably better than anything else in its class. And I readily admit that the interior is a complete love it or hate it thing. I adore it for probably the reasons people hate it as well. It's just different. It's, you know, Honda have tried to give you something which is manifestly completely opposite to what other manufacturers do, but it's not a gimmick. It all is there for very good reason, and it works brilliantly. The most normal part, if you like, the centre stack, So you've got sat nav, big screen there, all working perfectly. A dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side. It pumps out lovely cold air, by the way. We put it in a warm workshop earlier on, all functioning exactly as it should. And you get heated seats, again, all working fine. Switch gears, got that lovely damped click action that Honda do so well. And it just lasts an absolute eternity as well, you know, even with sort of relative abuse. But my favourite part, for good reason again, is the bit in front of me, this two-tier design. It is just genius, because it's not a gimmick. It's there to serve a purpose, and the most readily used information, or looked at information, it tends to be things like radio, climate control, and obviously your speed. So what they do, if you change your fan speed there, the readout comes up big and bold up there. Same with radio displays, that kind of stuff. It gives you information, so you're not looking down into the car. And then to the right of that, this big digital speedo. So as I'm looking ahead now at the road in the distance, pedestrians, cyclists, whatever, I can keep my eye on my speed at all times without having to look down for that split second, which obviously can be, can make a huge difference to road safety. It's brilliant, but it looks fantastic as well. Just especially at night when it's all illuminated, it's a wonderful dash to sit behind. Down below that, you've got this more conventional pod of 3 dials, rev counter in the middle of it, and then you've got flanked by the temperature gauge and fuel gauges there. Steering wheel is thick rimmed, leather bound, feels absolutely great in hand, and feels like brand new. I mean, the interior is in astonishing condition for a car this age of mileage. It really is it's been kept absolutely wonderfully well. It's some cars you can clean, but they'll always look a bit tired, they'll always look a bit worn. This one has clearly been cherished by somebody. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is brief, but basically just to show the car in operation and to feedback on any issues. There's nothing at all. It drives absolutely perfectly. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.